Dharma Joba. It's time for the news for December. So I've had some people ask me, you're doing real estate, you're trying to sell some real estate. Why are you doing the weather? Well, I'm trying to sell some real estate, but if I do, I do. I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal, but I'm trying to help people if they want to move to Georgia. Hopefully, they'll maybe take a look at me first and let me find them some property. If not, still, people need to make a decision where they want to live. You see around the world, there's some bad news all over the place. There's usually bad news anywhere you go, but I try to give you the news what's happening in Georgia so you can make a decision. Is this the kind of news you could live with? Is this better news than where I come from? Or is this news worse than where I come from? I'm not going to just give you all good news. I told you before about a building that collapsed. A lot of people died. So I'll try to tell you what's happening, what I see in the news. I'm not searching for just good or, or what's bad news. I'm just news, especially if it interests me and or if I think it's something that might interest people who might move to Georgia. So basically, I don't say I don't care, but this is the news, how I see it. You can do your own research, of course. I'm just trying to make it easier for you, but I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But so we'll do the news every month. We could do it every day. Obviously, it changes all the time, but just do it once a month. Not every day. You don't always get bored of it. That's not a news channel, but just give you an idea of what's happening. All right. So let's get to the first story. Hate to talk about it, but I guess we have to talk about it. There's all around the world. Can't really deny it. Seems to be getting better, but I don't really want to discuss it too much. But you can see from the picture, Corona in Georgia. It's in Georgia. They're getting the Omicron. It's all around the world, but I'm not going to say anything about it. Just I think the good thing about it is you can read stability continues in Georgia. So it's not really getting worse, not getting that much better, but it's stability, so that's good. It can only get better. So that's all I'll say about that story. Let's get to the next story. And actually, that's some of you might consider bad news. Yeah, that's all over, so you can't hide it. I couldn't say there's no corona in Georgia, so there it is. Let's get the next story. So here's the next story. Politics. Everybody loves politics. Well, that might be considered some bad news too, but I'm going to let you know what's happening. But I think this time you can see from the title, this is actually pretty good news, unless you're a smoker. But otherwise, I really don't care if you smoke, but if we're sitting on the same bus and you want to smoke, I don't want to smoke, it kind of makes a problem. So if you want to be in your own car by yourself and smoke, it's okay. If you want to be at your home and smoke, I don't mind. If we're in a restaurant together, I don't really want to smell your smoke. Maybe you can go outside, or maybe don't smoke. But I don't really care if you smoke or not. People should do what they want to do, but it shouldn't affect other people. Anyway, let's look at the story. So tobacco smoking to be prohibited in cable transport. What does that mean? Well, there's, I guess we'll just call it, make it simple, cable cars. There's some cable cars that go up the hills around Tbilisi and actually around the country. You can take, they're kind of small, so you don't want to be stuck in one of those for 10, 20 minutes and someone's smoking away. But I think that's good for everybody. And if you can't wait 10 minutes to smoke, then you got a bigger problem than you think. But also it includes there's no smoking in taxis. There's no smoking in boat transport, which there's a lot of rivers in Georgia. There's the ocean or the Black Sea. But it's a big river in Tbilisi that they have boat tours, so you can get on there. Now you can sit back and enjoy. You don't have to smell somebody's smoke either. So that's pretty good. So I think that's good news for everybody. Maybe a good idea for the new year to quit smoking. But if you're going to smoke, I don't want to smell it. So have a little bit of respect for people who don't smoke. Otherwise, maybe I do something you don't like. And I do it next to you. You might not like it either. So think about everybody else. We'll all get along very good. All right, let's get to our next story. So our next story is business. Some people, or many people, or maybe you should think about it if you have your own business, but many people are coming to Georgia to invest because the taxes are quite low. It's quite simple to open a business, run a business. They take care of you pretty well if you want to open up a business in Georgia, especially if you're going to be hiring quite a few people. Or even one person is good, but of course the more the better. But we'll take a look at the business, which I think everyone needs to know, and maybe you want to come retire, but maybe you want to do a little business too in Georgia. Why not? So here we go. Invest Hub 2022. So you can still make it. It's kind of a conference, happens every year. Kind of give you an idea of how to invest into Georgia. People from all over the world. I think they had about 100 countries. So it's quite popular. You can see from the picture there's quite a few representatives from different countries. It's a pretty big event. Georgia, they want your money. But Georgia takes care of you. They're going to give you good tax incentives, make it easy for you to set up your business. So it's kind of a win-win situation for everybody. So that's the business. So that's the business and economy. Next subject is going to be social and society. Let's take a look. All right, so social and society. That's usually pretty good news. This is, you can see from the headline yourself, it's good news and bad news. Depends how you look at it. So let's take a look. The Daily Mail. Grapes used to make European wine are from Georgia, studies suggest. I guess they didn't really prove it, but it seems to be. So the good news is for Georgia, we got good grapes, so good that Europe will buy them and make wine from them. The bad news is if you're in other parts of Europe, you're paying too much money for wine. So you come to Georgia and get your wine cheaper. Come to Georgia, buy a bunch of wine, take it back, and still be cheaper. So there you have it. You're drinking Georgian wine. A lot cheaper just to take a flight to Georgia, buy some wine, go around the vineyards, drink, sample, have a good time, take some back with you, save your money, and have a good vacation. It's kind of sad that Europe does these things, but it's good for Georgia. So if you come to Georgia, maybe get into the wine business and sell some wine back to Europe, make some money. That's a good business to think about. Let's get to the next story. So the next step is going to be sports. Everybody loves sports, or at least to watch them. Like I told you in other videos, Georgia has a lot of different sports, and maybe you want to get out of your comfort zone, or maybe it's in your comfort zone, but mountain climbing is quite popular. We have some pretty tall mountains, some pretty challenging mountains in Georgia. So you can see from this story, let's take a look. Georgia welcomed as new member of International Federation of Mountain Guides Associations. So that's pretty good news for Georgia. Probably pretty good news for you. It seems to be more watched over. More people, you can feel a little safer knowing these guides are more trained. They know what they're doing a little bit better. They can take care of you a little bit better. If you want to get into mountain climbing, you could be more assured you're going to learn it the right way and be with someone who knows what they're doing. I don't like so much government oversight, but I don't know, this is a pretty tricky thing. You're going up, most of the mountains have snow on them all year round, so it's pretty serious, could be pretty dangerous. Might be a good idea in this case to have some government oversight. But there you go, come to Georgia. You want to retire, do a little mountain climbing, relax on the top of the mountain, or just go to the base of the mountain, just look up and relax, up to you. But you can do it, and knowing your guide is well trained. Let's get to the next story. So our last story is culture. You may or may not know, Georgia's a little different culture from most places. It's mostly a Christian country. There's Jews, there's Muslims, there's people from all over the world there. There's mosques, there's temples, so many things you can do. People come from all over the world. People settle there. It's not too difficult to, as long as you're not poor, to come in, actually become a citizen in Georgia. Take a little while, some investment, but can be done. So we can see it's holiday time. Christmas, you can celebrate Christmas twice in Georgia. You can celebrate New Year's twice in Georgia. Christmas is in Georgia is on January 7th. So you could do December 5th, and then you could do it again on January 7th. And then New Year's is not until January 14th. So now, if you're from the Asian countries, you can celebrate the traditional January or December 31st New Year's. Then you could do your own New Year's, which in Vietnam they call Tet, or Chinese New Year, which is in usually what is it, end of January, beginning of February. And then in what did I say, January? Let me take a look at that date again. January 14th, you can celebrate New Year's again. So that's what, at least three of the major holidays that I can think of off the top of my head. It's a pretty good celebration. 2 Christmases, at least three New Year's. It's a good time in Georgia. Anyway, that's the news for December. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope you liked it. Hopefully, well, I don't say hopefully, but hopefully it's better than in your country. But if not, then you got a pretty good country. So hope that helps you decide if you want to come and move to Georgia. Let me know. But I hope this helps you decide that maybe either the things are the same or the things are not so bad. Might be a good place to move. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.